So what name should we go with today? Should we go Keg? Should we go Stoker? Should we go Mr. Stoker? What should we go with?
It's normally just Keg everywhere now. Everybody's forgot my real name.
Does that get confusing though with some people?
Yeah. Well, it's like most of the people who like I'm an acquaintance with or I've done a few shows with, it's always Keg. But with everybody else, like with close friends, it's Mickey and that. But then people are shouting Mickey to us, and it doesn't click on. I am expecting Keg whenever I'm at a wrestling show now. But even my wife calls us Keg.
Anyway, we're talking to us the Kegstacker. We've got tons of stuff to talk about. North Wrestling, wrestling in Newcastle, WW. We've got absolute tons of stuff. But as always, let's roll the intro. And of course, we're on Thursday. Keg, how's the week been, my friend?
It's been all right. Just getting back the past couple of weeks, been getting back into training because I've had a month off after surgery on my gum. So I've been in agony for about a month. So to like wanting to get back into it.
Wow. I bet that was bad surgery as well. Everything go all right with that?
Yeah. Well, yeah, it went all right. I was still in horrible pain, but it went okay.
Wow, 2 minutes in and we're already knowing about surgery. Wow. Jesus. So yeah, I mean, we were talking before we came on the air, and I'll always say it while we're live. I do appreciate obviously everything you do because I know you share a lot of stuff from the north and stuff. Do you know what I mean? So I do appreciate that as obviously as a fan.
Oh, it is, man.
But yeah, I mean, like I said, but today we're obviously talking about your career and stuff like that. As I mentioned in the introduction, we've got tons of stuff to talk about. So let's start at the beginning, shall we? Let's talk about getting into wrestling. How does your career begin?
It was. I just like got properly back into wrestling. When my mate told us about Bray Wyatt, like because I'd been watching tapes since like WWE got a bit crap, and like just watching old stuff, and I started watching it and like I was like, oh, I really wish I'd done this when I was younger. Now, like what, like why didn't I do this? And I was like getting out of shape, like because I just had our third kid, and I wasn't really looking after myself, and started trying to go to the gym. And I didn't really have any motivation for it. So my wife, like, I was looking up training. I'd looked it up for months. My wife finally said, like, either shit or get off the pot. So the closest one was Rampage training, and I was so lucky that it was because, like, Rampage, just like he is the best in Europe, and like everybody will tell you, people like really big names will tell you he's the best in Europe. And when I first started, it was Rampage, Screwface Ahmed, and HT Drake all training under one roof, and like you kind of ask for more. So now we've got, uh, we've got Rampage in one school, and now Drake's got his own school, and but like I went the wrong way there. But back to like how I first started, I was like a lot of people, like people you've interviewed and someone you're about to interview will probably tell you, like after me first lesson, they thought they'd never see us again because I was dying in the corner after the warm up. Because like the one thing about Rampage, he's not going to take it easy on you. So like I just kept going, kept sticking at it, and then finally got time. I think it was about a year in. I was about to do my first match for North, which was like a North Rumble. Really psyched up about it, and then it's March 2020, and COVID kicks in.
Yeah.
So I had a year of getting back out of shape, and then luckily both Drake and Rampage opened up at about the same time. So I got my arse back into gear, and then within like a few months, the North started the pre-shows, like, and I was on the very first pre-show. So to have my first match on like one of the biggest shows in the UK, I was really lucky. I've like Northeast is very like secluded, but we're lucky to have such great trainers and one of the biggest shows in the UK. Like what more can you ask for?
Absolutely. You mentioned obviously HT Drake there. What's one of the biggest things he's obviously taught you as a wrestler?
Drake really helped us with working like wrestling around my character. Like, because originally I was wanting to do like a bit of a Bray Wyatt ripoff, and so he would like help us like how I would conduct myself in the ring, and he would like I'd get messages from like this is the move we're going to try in the next session and that, and also he got like after lockdown he got us back into shape as well. Like he got us into ring shape because I was dying on the floor. I remember the first session back I was in with Howard. I mean his Drake and Adam Maxted, and we were training and like trying to keep up with them two. Because like Maxted, he's gonna find a gym in lockdown anyway somehow, and Howard, sorry, Drake had his own lockup with all the gym equipment in anyway, so he was in prime shape all the way through lockdown. So I'm dying on the floor, and I've got Adam Maxted standing over us saying, "Oh, just eat a banana, you'll be fine." All that just like, just leave us alone, please. You beautiful sculpted man, leave us alone.
Oh dear, what was that like? I bet that was challenging though. Obviously, do you know, keep going and stuff like that?
Oh yeah, there's so many times like I've wanted to just like pack it in, but it's the allure of it that always draws you back in, and you think you're never going to get it back into shape, especially with me because I do like now I work nights and stuff, so I do like drop off the gym, like it drops off for a while, but like I keep having to get myself into shape, and I need to stop. I need I need to like stay at like a level of like good health.
Oh dear. And how do you juggle that? Obviously, working and being a wrestler. I imagine that's obviously challenging as well.
Yeah, it's like I don't like to do as many shows. I mean, I don't do as many shows as I like, but like it's hard because like I've got 3 kids as well, and like I say, I started this very late, so it kind of be like putting the wrestling first now, like at my time of life and when I started and starting with like a wife and kids and that. But it's like should the wife's really supportive. Like she'll like she's the one telling us go for it, push yourself. I wouldn't have pushed myself so far if it wasn't for my wife Kate. So I'm really lucky in that sense.
Absolutely, absolutely. You mentioned obviously North Wrestling earlier on. There's 2 other promotions obviously I want to bring up, and that's Main Event Wrestling. Talk about obviously, do you know, working there?
Oh yeah, I love it. Dan Finch, like he was the first person that gave the Kegstacker gimmick a chance. Because I was looking for a way to get in, and I know Dan loved the gimmick, so I had this like Kegstacker idea in my back pocket. Sent it to him, and he loved it. And like I was fighting Leon Slater the next show, which was like which was mental, and it was like he was just on his way up. So that like that's one of the people that when he's like, well, he's already in TNA and stuff like that. When he's like one of the most famous people in the world, that's like the video I can go, see, I fought Leon Slater when he was first starting out.
You're keeping all this footage like in the back pocket, aren't you?
Yeah, like I've got like just random matches because I used to keep it all to like show promoters, but I haven't got the heart of delete. Like now I've got like not the other people being better, but me, like footage with me being better and getting better character work. I just haven't got the heart to delete it. Like I just think when I'm an old man one day, I'm gonna sit back and watch it all.
It's probably the best way because then you can obviously, critique it. When you like you make it
Yeah.
in so many years and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, like it's what I stopped doing it after a while. Like I stopped trying to getting all the footage for my matches, and I was in the car with who like he's really helped us, like especially with like the how my character should act in the ring, like slowing down and the amount of moves and stuff like that. And I was saying, like it was like 3 a.m. He was like dropping us off home. I was like, like, do you know when you get? I was like, I've got to that point where I just stopped watching all my footage, and he was like, never stop watching your footage. Like, I'm still watching mine, and I was like, all right, I'll keep watching it, and it was good I did because I'm still picking up on stuff.
Absolutely. I think you're into your things have disconnected because your audio's trying to change a little bit.
Oh, sorry, my earphones went off again.
That's fine. We'll go with it. The other promotion you obviously work for as well is Wrestling in Newcastle. Now, this is obviously a new promotion. Talk about.
I'm really sorry, but it started playing. Shut up, Sabrina Carpenter. I'm really sorry.
I didn't even hear anything. I don't even know what's going off.
Sabrina Carpenter just plays randomly whenever I take my headphones out.
Why that song in particular? What the hell?
I don't know. I think it's to try and build our views up. My wife thinks I've got like a secret thing for her.
Anyway, so we're on about Wrestling in Newcastle. Talk about working there.
Oh yeah, it's great. It's like the new big family show in the Northeast, and like being ran by Benji, who's like I've said it before. He's like been like a big brother to us in wrestling. Like he's looked out for us, give us advice and everything. So he really liked the character I was doing on this show. That didn't last very long, but it really gave people a chance to be creative with what they were doing. It was called Avant-Garde, and I was like a bit of a country bumpkin. Like I was like the runt of a litter in like a Texas Chainsaw Massacre style family, and it ended up I was meant to be a heel, but it got over with the crowd. It was like little Spike Dudley, but like a 6'3" fat little Spike Dudley, where everybody just loved it, and Benji especially loved it. So I came out, and he like just he just said, just do what you were doing. I was acting daft, like that wasn't really a family show, and Win was, but the kids like just still loved it, and I don't know. I just came out, give everybody a high five, smiled, and acted daft, and everybody loved it.
Yeah, and the thing was, I was at Settle the Score for Wrestling in Newcastle, and you mentioned the crowd reaction there. Straight away, I'm like, this guy is getting an awesome crowd reaction. I mean, you've got to be happy with that.
Yeah, it was. I don't know. It's just I just go out and kind of be myself. It's that turned up to 10 thing. Is it yourself times 10? It's just me being mental. Like I say, I was trying to do this dark, brooding character, and it wasn't working. I just got to be my daft self, really.
And I guess sometimes it's better just to be yourself. Do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, like you try and do these things, and like promoters will give you this advice, and it's really worth listening to, because like you like I say, I'm trying to do this brooding character, and people are saying like it's not working. Like, have you tried doing this? Like, and like if you listen, it can get you places. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, absolutely. And a lot of people's asking, when are you going for the world title and win?
Oh, hopefully soon. Like I said, I kind of hope Brady Phillips has lost it by the time I get like my chance, because I'm so nervous about having like a proper wrestling match with Brady Phillips, because he's such a pro. I was saying to him before, like, when we do it, can we like not have a proper wrestling match? He's like, you're going to have a proper wrestling match with us, and you're going to do great. I was like, oh well, on your head be it.
But it could be shreddy, you know what I mean? Depends what happens at Grand Slam.
Oh yeah, yeah. I've still never had like I've known Shreddy for like 7 years now, and I've still never had a match with him. So I wouldn't mind having a match with Shreddy.
There you go. So basically, what he's saying is he's not getting it away when. Oh dear. Now, obviously, last week I had Scott Bell on the show, and he got the opportunity to ask you a question, and he asked me to ask you about what is it like with a death match with glasses.
Oh, that it was stupid, really. What happened was I'd I had to have my wife drive us up because I'd normally drive up with Tim Strange, but the car was full. So I had my wife drive up and our babysitter dropped us in it. So it was all like a big huffle. And she was taking them to go and see Inside Out 2 while I had this death match in the middle of Hull, which neither of us has ever been to. So she quickly drops us off and I just run out the car and I'm going through my case and I've left me my contact lenses in the car.
No.
And she's already in watching Inside Out 2 with the kids, so I kind of get her to come back. So I think, I'll do it without my glasses. I'll be all right. It's just like we're just going to be hitting each other with light tubes, and you can see it on the video of that they put out on IWTV, where Jack Bennett comes back with his head all gashed open, and I'm sitting in the back like trying to remember my match. And everybody's going, oh God, and I can't even tell what's going on because I haven't got my glasses on. So I put my glasses on and see how badly he's cut open. I'm thinking, if I can't see that, and he was sat 2 foot away from us, I'm going to have to wear my glasses. And in the end, I got a lot of mileage out of them. And when I saw Big Lou at the Thunderstruck, he was saying, every time you do a death match now, you have to come out in glasses. So it might be another gimmick to add on top of the cake, but somebody ended up buying those glasses for about 30 quid off us.
Did they actually stay on the whole match, or did they actually come off?
They stayed on till the close to the end, where I don't know what I got hit with, but one of the legs flew off. So they stayed on my head, but they were like that, and then they ended up flying somewhere. And one of the Deathmatch Outlaws lads, Danny, found them for us and gave us them back. But they were a bit worse for wear, covered in blood and everything.
Wow. What's it like, obviously, preparing for a death match? Because it's very rare I get to speak to people who's been in that.
It was weird. What's the best thing about it is that all of the UK Deathmatch lads are lovely. So I had because Big F and Joe, he knew it was my first death match. So he sat us down. He's like, whatever you want to do and whatever you don't want to do. And I said, mate, death match is the reason I got into wrestling in the first place. My favorite wrestler is Mick Foley. So I've always loved hardcore and death match stuff. So I said, mate, I'm here to do death match. But it was all over the place, and I didn't know what match I was going to have when I got there. Originally, I was in a tag match, but I'd all changed around, and it was me and Danny Darkwo. For your first proper death match, to have one of the best in the UK deathmatch scene, was great. And then this other lad came along. Johnny White, I think his name was, but his wrestling name was Chaos, and he came in. So we changed the whole match around, which normally makes us a bit nervous, but I don't know. I was kind of collected on that day, and it was when you're thinking about it, and then you see someone come in with their head just gushed open and having to go to hospital. It's a bit weird, but I was more excited than scared. So the main thing was trying to keep the match in my head, which I ended up doing. And then that lad came back and told us, oh, that was the first time I've wrestled again in 3 years, which was a bit nerve-wracking after I heard that.
Awesome. So we've got a few regulars in the comments. We've got Mark Cook saying, Keg. What's going on, dude?
Hi, Mothers.
Simon Gibb. Obviously, I presume that's his
Hey!
Big love. Kate is obviously in the comments.
Oh, lovely Katie.
And we've actually got a question from Simon Gibb. He says, is the keg you bring to matches a good luck charm of sorts?
Well, I've got two that I've used. This one, I suppose it's like the one that I use now is the one that I've like ended up making actual Kegstacker with. So I guess this one is a bit of a good luck charm. I wouldn't want to like use a different one now because it's a good height to jump off like when I do the diving keg, but it's a good height to jump off of. It's not too small, and the only thing is it's a bit heavy. But yeah, I think it's brought us luck a bit. I've started covering it in stickers now, so if anybody wants to put any stickers on it, help yourself.
Oh, I can just imagine the kids just literally like sitting there, just putting loads of stickers on it. That'd be crazy. Awesome. So yeah, so before you obviously go out to a match and stuff, do you have like a match prep? Do you like get yourself psyched up? Do you listen to music? Is there anything what you obviously do before you go out?
Not normally. I'm just sitting there trying to keep the match in my head because I've got like a very bad memory. So I like to run through the match. I like to run through it in my own head. If the other person likes to run through it together, I'll do that. But I'm normally just go and find a corner to myself and try and like go through the match. And then just before I go out, I started doing this thing at Avant-Garde again, like which really helped us get into character of like that thick, like lovable idiot thing where I would just stare up at the lights with a bit of a slack jaw, like just like that, look like with a bit of a gormless look, and it would like help us get into character. So just before I normally do that.
I've just got the image of you going, what? So this next question, it kind of stumps a lot of people, but it's not designed for that. Is for fans who's obviously not familiar with yourself, why should fans go check out Keg? This is kind of like a way to promote yourself.
Yeah. Like I say, I'm a lovable idiot who will win your heart. And plus, I'm gonna do something stupid, which is always a good reason to tune in or come to a show. Like, it probably won't get us hurt, but it'll get a laugh.
That does include death matches with glasses, right?
Yeah, exactly. See, that got us over. Them glasses got us over.
Dear, absolutely. So Stevie Aaron, I mean, I knew he was going to send a couple of questions in. He says, "Do you prefer the name Stoker or the nickname Kegstacker?" Obviously, I know you've got both in a way.
Yeah, keg and Kegstacker and stacks it's all growing on us, and it's like I love it now. Stoker it's the name I've had, like it was my nickname all the way through school. So it's nice to have a change. like I say, most of the people I do wrestle with it's either Keg or Mickey.
Do people ever get confused like with both these names?
Yes, I have like had some people say who you're talking about. Like I get that all the time because I use people's shoot names all the time and forget. Like I just did with HD Drake, and then people will go, "Who are you talking about?"
Never mind. You know what I mean? People probably know who's watching, who you're on about.
Yeah. No, there's a lot of people like who just refer to each other by their wrestling names, and like I'll go up and everybody knows Howard's name because like with the rings and everything. But I was saying about someone you're going to have on. I was talking about Zeo Knox to someone. And I just kept saying Callum. I was like, oh, it's like Zeo Knox. Oh, Zeo Knox, yeah. Like, oh, I love Zeo Knox. I've known him for ages.
I think that's probably fun for fans as well, because some fans will be like, "Who's he on about?"
Yeah. Oh, I try not to do it in front of fans. Like I got called a mark before, but yeah, when I first started, we were at a North Shore with my wife, and I was saying, "Oh, that's such and such's merch. That's somebody else's." And the person behind the merch table was like, "You're coming off like a right mark, pretending you know all the wrestlers' names and all that." So I didn't mean to. It's like how my wife knows everybody.
But fans are smart, though. Do you know what I mean? Some fans are not daft.
Oh yeah.
So being a wrestler and obviously juggling all these things and stuff like that, do you get the chance to watch wrestling from like a fan's point of view?
I really got back into WWE over the past 2 years or something, ever since Cody came back and ever since Vince left. I think the storytelling's gotten so much better, and especially now with everything they're doing with Bo Dallas, who like I always loved it, no matter what character he's doing. He's such a great character wrestler, and yeah, I've really gotten back into that. Just got out of last year. I was loving New Japan all the way through lockdown, but I don't know, I just got a bit I've just the people who they were pushing I wasn't really into. And most of the time I'm watching old stuff, like a lot of 80s stuff, and I'm still just re-watching a lot of ECW stuff. That's what I'm mainly watching. But as for shows, I've never been to a big show, which is something I'd love to do. But I just I can't be bothered on being on the other side of the crowd. The age I am now, it's that's why I stopped going to gigs and everything.
Awesome. And I'm trying to think now. Yeah, my mind's just gone completely blank, and I'm having so much fun. Yeah, so Stevie Aaron also sent another question in. He says, ask him if he can, in fact, play with madness.
I've dabbled in madness. I don't know if I can, I wouldn't say I'm a pro at playing with madness, but, I've dabbled.
It is a good song, by the way. I'm just going to say that.
Yeah.
I love some Iron Maiden stuff, do you know what I mean? So when you come out to that, I'm like, yeah, this is a great song.
Oh, yeah. I remember that, because I was trying to find, just something really good to come out to. And just that can I play with madness, boom, and then just coming straight out. It's I couldn't, it was amazing. I think that's part of what's got us over as well, that music.
Yeah, it's incredible. And another fan obviously sent a question in. He says, what's the worst injury you've had?
In wrestling, I've never had a debilitating injury. I've just had loads of annoying injuries that'll stop us from doing what I want to do, like being able to push myself so far. I always my left arm is why I always wear elbow pad on my left arm now. For some reason I always end up knocking my elbow and I get just a massive tennis ball at the end of it, and I've done that 3 or 4 times now. Other than that, I perforated my eardrum once in that Leon Slater fight. I don't know how it happened, but that was more irritating than anything, because I couldn't when you do that to pop your ears, I couldn't do it because there was just air rushing through my eardrum and it was driving us mental. And the elbow, trying to sleep on that elbow, it's the worst thing in the world.
Yeah, I can imagine. And the other part, obviously, that question he sent was, talk about coming up with a gimmick, the Kegstacker. So talk about coming up with that character as a whole.
What it was I was doing this show called Uprawl Championship Wrestling. It was the only show in Sunderland ever had. It's gone now, unfortunately. But it was the first time any of my family had came to see us, and my auntie and my uncle were in the audience. And after I'd done it, my auntie said, "Oh, she came up watching wrestling in the British wrestling in the 80s. You need a nickname, Giant Haystacks or something." Mm-hmm. And when someone gives us an idea and I like it, it stays in my head. I can't get out of my head until I've sorted it. So I was thinking, and I thought what something big, something big like Giant Haystacks. I was going through my head, and keg came in my head. I was like, Kegstacker, is a Kegstacker a thing? And I looked it up, and it's these bits of plastic you put in between kegs so you can stack them up. Mm-hmm. So and I had that in my head, but I still wanted to do the dark, brooding heel Bray Wyatt ripoff, basically. So I had it on the back burner. I just I didn't really want to do it, and then that Dan Finch thing at Main Event Wrestling, I thought like I needed a Wayne because he had enough dark characters on his hands. So I shot him the Kegstacker idea, and he loved it. And I didn't do it much. I was doing the dark character, a load of other shows, but like I wasn't enjoying it. And I was doing that dark character at North, and I forgot his name. Gene Money, I forget Gene Money. Gene Money had seen us doing Kegstacker at a MAW show, and he was like, "Come here, like take a picture with us with the keg, and start sending it around places." And he was at a North show, and one I was on, and he went up to the owner, Andrew Bowers, and he went, "Have you seen him do Kegstacker?" And like Bowers didn't know what he was talking about. He was like, "Book him as Kegstacker." And that was like a year before it happened. And then Tom Campbell, the lovely Tom Campbell, saw it and like just fell in love with Kegstacker. And I still wasn't 100% about it. But him and my wife were just like, "You need to do Kegstacker. You need to do Kegstacker more places." And then Tom Campbell went up to Bowers as well. And I think it was after the first Thunderstruck show, we were in Anarchy Brewery, and they were both going up to him, just, "Have you seen Kegstacker? Get him to do Kegstacker." And Bell was like, I'll think about it. And he came to me and went, "Right, you've got these two characters." And Rory Coyle was really pushing for the dark one because he'd like Rory Coyle, he'd helped us with loads of promos. Like I'd just irritate him every day by just sending him promos. Like I'd drag my wife into the middle of the woods so go and shoot a creepy promo. And so Bell said to us, like, "You've got these two characters. The next show you're on, I want you to come to us with one of these characters, and it's up to you." And the match was against Mark Mathers, and I was debating it, and this dark character, I had an antler, and then I had Kegstacker with a keg on one side. So I was sitting there with this antler and the keg, and Mark just messages and saying, "I can get Kegstacker over as a face. If I'm heel and your face, I can get you over." And that was it. I trust Mark 100% when it comes to wrestling, so I thought, sod it. And I brought the keg, and we had one of the worst matches either of us have ever had, mainly because I forgot everything, because we had so many different people saying, "Oh, you should do this, you should do this." And I thought that was the end of Kegstacker, but Bowers loved the idea still, and he just said, "Come out and be a character." And like, he started putting us on the pre-shows, and just saying, like, "I don't want a match. I want the character work." So the first one was with I hate when my mind goes blank like this. Caleb Valhalla. And all we did was drink in the ring and chop each other, and it just went down a storm. And now, like, with that, and with Tim Strange and Kez Evans telling us to slow down so much, I basically sit on my keg and drink and get other people. There's been 2 matches I've sat on a keg and drank for most of the match while other people fight, and then I just come in with some chops on that. And it's the best career decision I ever made. I love it now as well.
Is that the Valhalla one on YouTube? I think it is.
Yeah, and that's like still one of my favorite matches. I'd love to have another match with Caleb because he's such a lovely lad and he's up for anything.
Yeah, it's definitely on YouTube. Go check that one out, guys. A few little more questions, obviously, as we begin to wind down and stuff like that. You obviously do a lot of work in the North. Will fans see you outside North?
Where do I fancy going outside North?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, it's because of the headphone thing. Well, the death like Rise is like what like top on my list. Probably TNT as well. I'd love to do it. I've wrestled a few people who've done TNT. Just really like deathmatch places are the only one on my mind. Like me, like main one would like I'm not really bothered about going over to America, but I'd love to just at least once go over to Japan. Like when I've been watching Shreddy over the past 2 months, because he's went to big Japan, I'd love to do the deathmatch side instead of the strong style side. That's my dream. That's the dream. But other than that, I'd love to do a lot of plays, just go around. I got to go on Sov Pro, which I was really happy with. Just get more outside the northeast. I've also I did Target recently as well, which was a tick off the list. But yeah, I'm more I gotta take it as it comes. I think it's most of my career has been falling arse backwards into things, so I tend to just stick to doing that. Other people have put me over more than I've been able to put myself over, which has been a big help. Tim Strange has got us so many places. I've been so lucky to have turned up on his list, and Benji, like I say, has put us up against people from all over the place, and has put us over so much.
Yeah, and Simon Gibbs kind of jumped the gun a little bit because I was going to ask this question anyway. What's the dream opponent? Who would you like to face?
Jun Kazai. It was always Jun Kazai. He was my favorite deathmatch wrestler, more modern deathmatch wrestler. That or a young Onita would have been great. I still fight him now, actually. The way he's he's 60, he's knackered.
Awesome. What about the goals for you long term and short term? What's the goals for you, obviously, as a wrestler?
The goals.
Yeah.
More deathmatch stuff, definitely. I think because I'm not really bothered about belts and gigantic shows and making a load of money, because I feel like I'm a bit beyond that now, too old for it. But if it happens, it happens, and that's great. You know what I mean? But I don't dwell on it, because I think it's I think it works out better when you don't dwell on it. But the dream really is just to do more deathmatch stuff.
There you go. So you're going to be seeing Keg in more deathmatch scenes, basically.
Fingers crossed.
Awesome. So when obviously I messaged you through the week, is you sent me obviously some promotional stuff, so I'll show you the image and then you've promoted yourself.
Oh yeah.
Hey,
mean HD Drake. I'm terrified.
The funny thing is, when you sent me that image, I completely forgot it was you until I saw the name.
Yeah, I look very different in that suit. I was going for a bit of a Ronnie and Reggie career thing.
And of course, you've got North as well, with an up and coming guy who he thinks going to really be a big name in a few years.
Oh yeah, like I say, he's another one who I'm going to be showing videos of when I'm older. See, I fought him once. Kemper's a good lad. He not only will he go far, he deserves to go far.
Absolutely. He's definitely one to watch, and he's a great wrestler. I've seen him obviously in wrestling.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So now, obviously, last week I said that obviously Scott Bell asked a question to a wrestler next week. Now we spoke about this. I know that Zio Knox is on the show next week. So, what question shall I ask Zio Knox from you next week?
It's it should be a really serious question. But the main question I want to know, because he'll never tell us in real life, he might tell us in an interview, is how did he get so gorgeous? And that's I'm sorry if that's wasted, but that's what I really want to know.
Okay, I will ask that question next week. I can't wait to see who's going to answer that one.
I'm so sorry.
No, I mean, that's the whole point of this. I just never know what the person's going to ask, and it just makes it interesting. All right, I need to compose myself a little bit. Anyway, come on, let's get serious. Come on. So, one final question before we head off is, we haven't spoke about it a little bit, but you mentioned obviously the wrestling scene, obviously Newcastle. It is pretty big. Do you know what I mean? There's some great, obviously, promotions as well as talent.
Yeah, it's like we're lucky to have that win came along. Like I say, we've got North, which is like so big now. Like it's only going to get bigger. But like I say, we've got Win, which is like a big family show, and MEW, which it's its 90th. It's its 19th anniversary this next show. So like it just shows you how long they've been running, and they've been doing so well all that time as well. Like other than that, like a lot of shows like disappeared. Like I say, we used to have UCW, which was really good because it was like the only show Sunderland had. There were Avant-Garde as well, which is missed because it gave a lot of different people a chance, and it wasn't about like technical stuff or high flying. It was about the characters, which it's a shame it's gone. But other than that, yeah, like everything else has went under the way, really, except for the contract lot who are in their own bubble. Really, like they've got their own thing going on, and like more power to them. Other than that, like the Northeast, it's like I don't think we need that many shows. Like, well, there used to be so many, but yeah, I think we've got some that are big enough that would you didn't need like a show every weekend. But what the Northeast needs is more people from the Northeast getting out there, which has always been said. Like we're very I don't know. I think we're too far away for some places, and some people you just don't think of us. Especially the south, like Leeds and Manchester, and that you'll see some people from the northeast, and some people do break out. Like just like look at Big Lou, and like Tim gets himself everywhere, and you've got people like Pack and everything. But yeah, we're very isolated. Needs to be more of a push of the northeast people,
I will say one thing, by the
especially
way.
me.
Yeah, I live in obviously South Yorkshire, and I do make the trip to the Newcastle show. And you know what?
Oh yeah.
It was absolutely incredible experience. I recommend it to absolutely anybody.
Exactly, we've got some amazing talent up in the northeast. Like just to push some people, like I'm just pushing people I train with, but like Mathers and Zio Knox and bloody this young lad coming up called Brennan is so good. We've got a lot of talented people, and they're getting trained by some of the best in UK and like European wrestling. They should be everywhere. You know what I mean? Like I don't know what to say. I'm terrible at like saying these type of things.
No, I think we've got the gist. I mean, the North is obviously one of the best, for wrestling talent.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. So to end the show on, we're going to have some fun. Now, this Saturday, we're going to be looking at Behind the Stripes, the unsung heroes of wrestling. So I'm going to end this question for you. What would you say, as a wrestler, is the biggest misconception about refs?
That they're just there because they could make it as wrestlers. A lot of people say that, and they like, especially recently over the past few years, we've had a lot of really dedicated people just coming in to be referees. Like the lovely Katie, she started a year ago wanting to be a ref, and now she's one of the best refs in the UK. We've got Ross as well, who's like her twin brother. Like they've came up together. The like so good because they've been trained by Scott and they've been trained by Rich Swift. So there's like it's ingrained in them. It's like they can get further than any wrestler really. Like if you look at Katie, her career's just skyrocketed in the space of a year. And it's like something Rich Swift said to us. He's like he could get so far as a wrestler, but as a referee, he took the world. You know what I mean? He had WWE. He's on the biggest shows. Probably he's getting paid the most, like most refs do. You know what I mean? It just shows you like if the refs what you want to be, like you can make it in the UK scene.
Absolutely. That's
I hope that wasn't a babbling mess.
No, I think that's a perfect answer. So, yeah, this Saturday we're going to be taking a deep dive, obviously, into the wrestling world of referees. Got loads of stuff to talk about. Keg, it's been an absolute blast, mate. Hopefully you've had a blast.
Oh, yeah, I've loved it. Loved every minute. I'll be looking forward to the next show.
Absolutely. Yep. It will be at Grand Slam, but he's not telling me, and nobody else is telling me, but he's going to be...
I don't know myself yet. Like I say, Benji keeps his cards close to his chest.
He does. But yeah, I will obviously see you at Grand Slam. I don't know what your match you've got, but we'll soon find out. Cheers for watching, guys.
Thank you.